Hey everyone, can you hear me? Awesome. Hey, all right, Chonya, welcome back to the US of A. How are you doing? Great. Hear anything from Bread? No, I don't think so. I did see him join one of the chats that I'm in though. Maybe I can reach out, maybe ping him there. He's in one of my AI chats that I'm in. I'm going to only be able to stay about 50 minutes tonight. I have a very important family thing that is scheduled right after this, fortunately, related to Intarsia Mike. But yeah, I'll be here for the next 50 minutes. We can talk about DAO things, or I think Jesse put out a fun little mini game that he's been working on. Maybe we can start there. Let me find the link to it. Who's played it so far? I was having some good times with it. I'll drop the link here. Gotchi Grail Hunt. This was Golden Cross's first time. I wish he could be here tonight, but it's he's also in the Asia time zone, finding it difficult to find time for this this call. I think he's going to bed earlier these days. Yeah, thank you, Chonya. Yeah, but he made this is his first vibe coded app that he has made since I onboarded him into Codex a couple months ago. So pretty cool to see him putting this together. And the game is pretty simple. You basically just look at two Aavegotchis and you try to guess which one sold for more ghost. So pretty fun, simple premise, but quite for the bizarre aficionados in the chat. It's pretty fun. So I'm looking at one here. Here's what it looks like if you're not able to open the site. Trying to decide. Let's see. This one's got the dragon wings, the little pump goatee, the APY shades. This one's got Captain Ave suit, wizard visor. I feel like probably Broski, because most of the other ones are lower tier. I'm gonna click Broski. No, I got. Oh man, I got wrecked. Must have been. Must have been the energy bolt that got me. That yeah, that one got wrecked on that one. So it's pretty fun. Really test your knowledge of all the wearables and the current market prices and things. Right. Do another one here. So let's see. My score is -1 right now. This one is, we got mini game Savage 4 Myths. I think that name is obviously out of date. Versus Chalmers Johnson. This guy's got a sweatband, gemstone ring, and a water bottle. And this one's got a Wagme shirt, elf ears, and cool shades. I think the gemstone ring, isn't that, I'm trying to remember the rarity. Is it either, it's like a rare or a legendary, isn't it? So I feel like, I think it's minigame Savage. No, wrecked on that one too. Oh man, Jesus. Good morning, GM Al. Is that the Al from before, or are you a different Al? I remember one of our owls got hacked and had to leave the Discord. Is that the same owl? GM Roxiano, I see you on the stage here.
Good morning.
Oh, you know what? I didn't have my headphones in. No. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll do one more round here. This is embarrassing. All right. These are the ones that I really hate because it's, I mean, obviously this one's probably pretty obvious, or it should be, I guess, because one of them has a wearable and the other doesn't. Let's see. We got one. Well, no, he doesn't have wearable. He's just got a uni. One's got a uni. One's got a USDC. I have no idea. It's a kind of a toss up here. One is H1, I guess, but I think they're both H1, aren't they? So I'm gonna go with the one with the background. Yes. Oh my God, look at that. This one is a one ghost difference, guys. I feel like you should get more points if they're so close, right? Like that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. One of them is naked,
I'll
right?
mention that. Well, they're both naked. One of them, but he's
Oh,
got the uni horn. One of them's got
right.
a horn,
And the
which is the different collateral. But
background.
but actually the first one, rarity score of 415 versus 512 for the other guy. So actually, but the other one's H1 and the other versus H2. So man, that could have been a factor. All right, I'll do one more because maybe I'm gonna reverse my losing streak here. All right, here we go. This one's a challenge. Yes, this is me. Oh, well, welcome back, friend. Hope you were able to get over the hack and recover some of your assets. Honestly, like it's really the security in crypto right now. It's so important. Anyone listening, if you have any crypto, which I assume everyone here does, put it on a hardware wallet if you haven't, and make sure that you do not ever put that seed phrase or private key like fucking anywhere near the internet. Don't put it in your Apple Notes or don't put it in your iPassword or one password or whatever. Keep it off the internet. And also chat with AI about how to do like an emergency backup recovery plan. If you have any like loved ones as well. It's something I've been doing the last couple weeks. I mean, it's kind of kind of a time intensive process to do it right, but yeah, I think it's important. If you have any crypto at all, like first of all, just get it off any hot wallets. That's like step one, and then make sure you have it on a hardware wallet, and that you've never like uploaded that hardware wallet's seed phrase or anything to the internet in any form, even if it's like an encrypted. Well, yeah, like if it's like a locked iNote or like an Apple Note, probably not good enough. But if it's like an encrypted vault, and that's uploaded to iCloud, that's like much better because there's like levels to how really secure things are. But you can also try putting it on a multi-sig and having different keys to that multi-sig if you have a decent amount. It's like various ways. So you can explore options with AI and like have it give you suggestions. It's really helpful. Yeah, exactly. Trying to like estate planning, like taking care of loved ones in the case that something happened. I think just helping you sleep a little better at night, knowing that stuff is taken care of. Actually, frees the subconscious to do more during the day, where it's not always worrying about that potential hack that could wreck you. So, all right, one more. Let's see here. This is we got, what does this guy got? He's got the sushi set. He's got the base glasses. So he's okay. He's a kind of a baller. Versus Fletch. This guy and his name, what a great name, the Wasabiist versus Fletch, who's got the foxy tail, the polygon, coconut. They both got coconuts. This one's got elf ears and a tiara. Man, these are, and this one's got a pet. He's got a. I'm gonna go with the Wasabiist, I think, because he's got more wearables. Well, not really. Let's see. I guess they both got pets. They both got two hand wearables. They both got eye. Oh, Fletch has alluring eyes. Actually, I didn't see that in the first one. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Roxiano now. Because yeah, that crown, I mean, but they're both, I mean, aren't the sushi set is also, isn't it legendary? Man, this is not easy. Oh, but the Wasabiist also has the lick tongue. So that's all right. I'm sold. Let's go with Wasabiist. Yes. That was not that far away though, honestly. 2100 versus 1700. I mean, that's like one wearable away. Basically the lick tongue did it. The lick tongue got it. So good times. This is actually pretty fun. If you guys have any suggestions for any other versions or ways to play this, go ahead. Oh, all right, Roxiano, you're up. Do you want to narrate your thought
definitely.
process
Yeah,
here?
so definitely the one on the right. We saw the one on the left before, but the one on the right's got a lot more stuff, especially
Yeah, it's got
the pet and that hair too. I really like the hair.
Yeah,
And the
that's
elf
like
ears.
isn't that a mythical? I think it's mythical hair.
Yeah. And I got it.
Nice.
Pretty easy.
That was
my first one. That's a cool game.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Jesse was like, he wants to do something that's gamified, but also like uses a lot of the Aavegotchi data that's already out there. So if you're looking to bump up your bazaar skills, it's a good way to practice.
Yeah.
On our side, if you probably everyone here has seen, but we put an announcement out in the main announcements. We were with the help of some sleuthing and some codexing, we were able to basically withdraw and kind of recover a good amount of DAI for the DAO that was stuck in the old bonding curve on Ethereum. So Maxi Crouton reached out to me and said, "Hey, there's this money that needs to be pulled out." So we got the band together and was able to withdraw that on behalf of the DAO, and so sent it back to the DAO wallet on Ethereum. So I think that was pretty cool. It was kind of a highlight of my week, getting that out for the DAO, and yeah, available for people for whatever the DAO wants to do with it. Yeah, I wish we had something like that from the beginning, Nestor. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's like a fun little game for people to play.
Yeah, get familiar with the market.
I'm seeing PG saying in the other chat, Broski sold without the pet. It was added after, probably using the current SVG. Yeah, this was something I forgot to mention to Golden Cross. Had it on the top of my mind, and then I forgot that I don't think he's tagging the block in the subgraph query. I'm not sure if he's using the subgraph or on chain, but yeah, that was something I meant to raise to him. That I think it might help with some of the SVG errors that he's getting once in a while, which I think are probably sacrificed gotchis. Yeah, I'll mention that. Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out, PG. Other level could be a multiple choice on wearables in which you choose the historic highest price sold.
Yeah, so it could say
I
like
guess the
60 ghost or 1,000 ghost, and then you just, yeah. That'd be funny.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good idea. We got all this interesting, bizarre data and trading data. Someone, you see, that's what he's trying to do is make some cool products or little games out of it. So yeah, if anyone has any suggestions for Gotchi Grail hunt, feel free to just pop them into the Gotchi gang chat or DM Golden Cross directly. I think he's having a good time building this. He's got get some little music too. I think the songs in the top right are songs that he created for the Gotchi verse as well, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much time. I'm gonna have to jet here in about 30 minutes. But yeah, maybe we can get into the DAO call.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about today. The main topic is probably going to be about the DAO Facilitator role term renewal. And then there are a bunch of updates on the active DAO forum posts to share today. But we'll start with the proposal that closed right after last week's call. It was a SIGPROP to release the AGIP 146 final Gotchi Battler funding milestone. And 86% of the voting power, 86.05%, voted to release the funds for Gotchi Battler, but the quorum only reached 58.9%. And that voting period ended on May 3rd. So yeah, low quorum for that one. But we'll be talking about the quorum later during this call. We can start the forum updates. I also want to have Brills up here on the stage to join into the facilitator talk. We could jump right into that, or I could give some updates first while we wait. Also, I see you, Brills, in the audience. You're welcome to come up whenever. Just to summarize, what we were talking about is what we want to know is whether the DAO will support us for the next term. And here's the thread for that one, in case any of you aren't caught up with the DAO facilitator topic. We want to. I posted a like really rough draft just to get it out there to see see you guys' opinions. We want to add our presence and facilitation to maybe the hangout as well, and maybe merge the two sections into one, and it could be more engaging that way. And we want to know everyone's thoughts about that. And Coder Dan, I know lately you've been like kind of soloing the hangout, and it could be more fun, like full with our help to organize some maybe display of gameplay or entertainment. What do you think, Coder Dan?
Yeah, I would. I mean, we do try to spice things up, but yeah, I'd love if there was a little bit more of a show, to go with the hangout.
Yeah, and maybe we could coordinate before the calls and figure out like how it's gonna look and what we're gonna do during it activity wise. Additionally, Brills has shown interest in joining the team and stated, quote, "One of the things I'd like to advocate for is facilitators having a small monthly ghost budget to incentivize the hangouts with various activities. Viewers and participants should also have a chance to earn ghost." Welcome to the stage, Brills. I wanted to ask about that. What would that look like for you?
What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me today.
Yeah.
Definitely excited to talk about some of the ideas I have for the upcoming term for facilitators. So if we can get right into that. I actually have a message I can send in the chat, which is kind of a way to kind of put my idea into text, and then we can kind of go through it as we read along. So I know you guys are obviously looking to renew kind of the term for the next 12 months. And, I just was kind of looking at discussions based on some people that thought maybe the facilitators might be earning a bit too much hourly and other ideas that we were trying to incorporate. So here's what I have kind of so far. I'll let you guys take a look. So this would be kind of my rough idea, would be a $2,000 monthly budget, which is the same as is, but we kind of change it around a little bit. Obviously, we'd be adding one facilitator to the team if I was to join. It doesn't seem like you guys are as interested in having an election. I'm totally okay with just being a fifth member. If you guys want to have an election, I'm okay with that too. If we want to keep it with 4, but definitely think it's cool that we could make it work with 5. But yeah, basically keeping the same 2,000 monthly budget. I think we should have $400 per month in rewards for people that want to join the Hangout. I think there's a lot of engaging activities that we can kind of have during the hour two, or basically 2 hours that we hang out, and give them a chance to earn as well. I have it broken down to 320 times 5 for the facilitators. So small pay cut kind of per member. But I think when we add another member to the team, we share a bit of responsibilities, and I think that could probably work out. I obviously haven't talked to you guys about these numbers, so I'm not sure if everyone on the team is okay with these kind of numbers. But this was just my rough idea I wanted to kind of post. But yeah, basically the hourly breakdown would be 2 hours of hosting / co-hosting. This is obviously per hangout. 1 to 2 hours per week when you're hosting a hangout of preparation. This includes ideation, planning activities, researching topics, making announcements before the actual hangout takes place to kind of drive engagement, let people know what's going to be happening, let people know who the hosts are, maybe what activities we might be planning this week. And then 1 to 2 hours of post hangout work, sending rewards, uploading videos, that kind of stuff. So it kind of breaks down the hourly. I was kind of talking to AI to figure out how it works with 5 people. Over 1 year, each facilitator would work 21 hangouts on average. I think like maybe one person works 21, a couple people work 22, but it's right around 21 hangouts with the 5 members. That works out to 182 kind of per hangout. And if we look at the hourly breakdown, it's around 5 hours per average per hangout. So that works out to around $36 an hour, which seems a lot more reasonable. I saw Phantasm mentioning it should be under $50 and stuff, so I definitely want to keep that in mind. And yeah, how to make it work with one team member. There would just be basically with the extra team member, there'd just be a sub. So every hangout there's 2 people, obviously a host and a co-host, and then every 2 weeks someone would sub into that 4-pack. Hope that makes sense. But let's see what No Future says. He says, looks good. One thing, how we delegate recording and posting the meeting currently is Roxana and I do twice a month each. So that's definitely something we can consider with the recording.
Yeah, that was a question. Yeah, that was a question I had too. Like, are you and your equipment capable of doing recording and posting as well?
I could probably do that. I know you guys obviously have it probably more streamlined at that point. My strength would be more hosting the events, stuff like that. But with a 5-person team, I think we could make it work. Maybe there might be one person that, maybe that's one of their main roles is that kind of behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, that was just kind of my rough idea about how the budget would kind of look, because I know lots of people are interested in that. But yeah, I'd just be really excited to join the team. I've kind of had interest in joining the facilitators. I know it started off as like a DAO meeting kind of host, and that doesn't interest me as much. I'm definitely totally capable of doing that. But once I heard that you guys are kind of trying to merge the Hangout with the actual DAO call, I definitely see myself as like a really good fit for that. I love engaging with, on stage, getting viewers involved, and I have a ton of ideas for how to give incentives during these hangouts and kind of get them back to life. Unfortunately, when we look in the call, there's 17 people in the audience. I know at least half of us are currently being paid in various DAO positions. So there's not that many people that are hanging out just for the love of the game right now. And I want to kind of boost that. So I think if we had we start off with $100 a hangout, just so we can give away in ghost rewards, that should really, help drive the engagement and get people, interested and exciting what we're doing here.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I really like what you wrote down here. The facilitators, we did discuss about the possibility that we might have to take a pay cut, and we were fine with that. I've thought about what a 5-person facilitator team might look like. I was also imagining we would keep the compensation the same, even with the 5 of us. I was at first thinking like 2 separate proposals, one for the renewal and the added member, and then the other one for the extra rewards. But making it into one proposal would probably work too. And as for the hosting itself, we found that having like 2-person teams before when hosting resulted in an imbalanced workload. But with the merged calls, like the Hangout and the DAO call, we could have one host focus on the gaming portion and the other focus on the DAO business. And that way there would be clearly established roles that could rotate between us. And then obviously the other role of the recording and the social media posting. We could split all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shouldn't be too hard to figure out.
I definitely think we could make it work. And like as you mentioned, one of the hosts could kind of lead the hangout portion, the other host could lead the DAO call portion of that week and stuff. And I also saw talks of how to kind of merge those. Maybe in the future we start off with the DAO call, just because that's kind of like a variable time frame. I saw that idea. I think it's actually a decent one, because sometimes the DAO calls start at different times. Maybe we get our work over with first and then we play after. That might be a cool way to do it in the future, but definitely open to all ideas. Just wanted to share kind of my thoughts and my interest in joining the team for this upcoming term.
Yeah, and the way you averaged out the hours was actually pretty accurate. I spent about 1 hour yesterday and 1 hour the day before that doing the preparation for today's call. And usually I spend like maybe an hour or less after the call doing the prepping for the posting to YouTube, post recording. So, yeah. I would say 5-ish hours is pretty accurate.
Yeah, it seemed like a reasonable amount of hours there. Because obviously you want to keep up with all the discussions during the week, but you also want to look around and plan. Like basically just the way I broke it down there. It seems like that gives us enough time to do those tasks. So yeah, I think that's kind of a reasonable hourly rate for what the job is. And just looking at the chat here, see no future, give me some support. Thanks, bro. And yeah, definitely. If there's any other questions you have from him, happy to answer them.
Okay, No Future says the issue is the DAO part is more variable. It would be easier to keep the fun part a consistent time and upfront. So it would be like a different section, maybe, is what you're suggesting. I was thinking maybe we could have it intermittently throughout the call. But I could see how it could be a little bit disruptive to the conversation that we might be having. Or we could just decide per call whether it's before or after, whichever would make more sense. First hour party,
that'd probably,
second half business.
depending on how.
Maybe. That is what he just said.
Yeah, depending on how many like active proposals there are, that might change where we want to put those meeting kind of discussions at the front or the back. No, we could definitely keep it as is, the way it is. How you guys just do the hangout at the beginning and then we do the DAO call at the end. That's totally cool.
Yeah.
I just saw someone make a comment that the DAO calls were starting a bit too soon, which wouldn't be the issue in this new kind of thing, because we had at least plan out an hour of activities during the hangout. So we could get back to just having the DAO call in the second hour. I know just recently the DAO call has been starting pretty soon, just like today, how we're already in the DAO call, 30 minutes into the call. So some people, I heard that they just want to show up for the DAO call part of it, and they kind of miss some of the discussions because it starts a bit early. So I saw one person suggest maybe starting with the DAO call, but we can definitely just keep it the way it is. First hour hangout, second hour DAO call. I think, yeah, whatever it is, we'll make it work.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, we'll probably have one more chat, and then we'll look at the proposal, post another proposal in, like, proposal draft in this forum, the DAO Facilitator role term renewal forum, and then we'll see about posting it on Snapshot. We'll do that probably as soon as we can. After this call, I'm cool with like working on the draft again. So maybe we could get that done by the end of this weekend. And
For sure, yeah. I'm happy to help if you need any help with that as well. Let me know. C4 also says 30 minutes of fun, 1 hour DAO call, and end with another 30 minutes. But that could work too for lots of ways we could do it.
Yeah, good suggestions. Yeah, so yeah, we'll talk about that amongst us a little bit later, and then so stay tuned, guys, in that forum. I'll post the link one more time. All right. That was a good conversation. Thank you, Brills.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Al, I'm not sure what is left. 250K. Yeah, it looks like no future confirmed. It could be 250K left in the treasury. So, for now, I'll just give some active forum updates. This week, the market maker thread was active. On May 5th, Nestor provided some screenshots with updates on the performance of our tokens and asked whether we want to open up the Ghost and your Ghost/EUR pool. He also mentioned a meeting he's attending with Skynet. I'm not sure if there are any updates on that, Nestor, but here's the thread where I found that information. And there are 3 threads that Nestor has updated. So the second one is the implementation of quorum tiers, intentions, ruling quorum, and quorum rules as intended. And that thread is here. And okay, Nestor wants to come to the stage.
Hi guys. How you doing?
GM.
GM. Hi Roxy. Hi Colin and hi Brills. And hi guys. Yeah, one word to the market maker. Ivers from Skynet has offered me a time slot of half an hour to discuss current matters and the monthly report he provided. I think I haven't yet put the link out there. Or I wanted to ask what is the most preferred option to get the report. Otherwise, I can just screenshot it as a whole. But anybody who would like to come along to the meeting with Ivers, I haven't yet fixed the time. It's every day, like between 10 o'clock and 16 o'clock Central European time. So a bit early, I guess, for West Coast. But yeah, if anybody wants to join and come along and have a chat with Ivers, who's really, really cool guy as Justin. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, Roxanne, do you mind if I just chime in here for a sec?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind.
I just want to, cool. I just want to I see Al said something in the chat here. I just want to reply to him. So he says, don't you guys have like 250K left in the treasury? We actually still have over 1.5 million from what I'm looking at right now in the treasury. So definitely a lot more than 250K. And then you also said 10% treasury for facilitating a call for 16 people once a week. So yeah, that's definitely what we're trying to change. We're trying to bring more people back to these calls. We used to have, 50 plus in the Hangouts and stuff. And I definitely think with the ideas I presented, adding incentives to these things, letting people actually play games during the Hangout, I think that's going to be really fun. And I think that's a way to basically get us back to where we were. And basically, like, the Gotchi Hangout is essentially like a Aavegotchi flagship weekly event, right? This is where, if you're in the community, you're going to want to hang out, right? So it is pretty sad that we have such low attendance, and that's part of the reason why I want to join the team and try and change that. So I think we can get back to good times here pretty soon with a new proposal that gives facilitators a little bit more freedom to incentivize these events, because definitely it's a Saturday evening or morning. This is a valuable time slot, right? So I think we should definitely be giving people that show up to these events a chance to earn it and not just listen to people talk. So
Yeah.
definitely
I would also throw in that it's double that amount because a lot of people watch the recordings of the calls afterwards. About 20 people I've seen consistently watching those, 20 or more, around there, ballpark. So it's definitely like double the amount that are present here that listen
For
to the
sure.
calls. So that's important
I
as
see.
well.
I'll say if you're going to throw incentives at the call, you're just going to get money on people to join the call. Honestly, it wouldn't be organic. Randos love free money, so that's always a conversation in this community. I don't really see that much in other communities. When I go there, all I see is, like, when I join another game, I see a very active Discord. I'm not really worrying about who's there for the free money or this and that. What I see is an active community. That's actually the main issue with Aavegotchi, is that since we've been so worried about giving randos this free money, we have less than 20 people in a call at this point, right? So just saying, yeah, that's basically, like, that's what I want to see. I want to see randoms join our calls, because you incentivize them to join the call, and then they might actually enjoy hanging out with the community and become a part of the community, right? Like, that's just to get, like, I see no issue in that, right? We're giving away $100 a week. A lot of that's going to be going towards Gotchi Gang members. If there's new people that join the call to try and get the incentives, I see no issue in that. I see that as a positive, because when someone joins this call, right, and they see 50 people instead of 17, an investor is way more likely to invest in this project if they just see a little more life in these Hangouts, right? So I think that's a low marketing expense to try and give just bring a greater audience to these Hangouts. So I definitely see no issues with this. But what is PG says, could also burn some DAO chemical during those? Yeah, I love the ideas. And yeah, so I just wanted to address some of those comments. The ship is sinking, and I see nothing here is going to fix it. Just how I see it. Well, that's all good, Al. You're welcome to your opinions. Obviously, Aavegotchi is not in the best state. Be honest about that, right? But these kind of things we can change. Like, we can make it more exciting. We don't have to give up just yet. So that's why I wanted to put my name in the hat to try and join the team this year, because I think I can make a change. So yeah, that's all I got to say for now.
Yeah, awesome. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, some of the things, yeah, some people might say the ship is sinking, but the point is to, like, at least maintain what we have here and definitely improve. And I think that the proposal we're going to put out is definitely going to be a major improvement to what we have been doing. And we're going to be putting more work in and, adding value for sure. So, yeah. And, okay, so as I was saying before, okay, so the meeting with Skynet, we touched on that. The implementation of the Quorum tiers. Nestor posted a new survey. And I did this survey, and it's pretty cool, and it takes just a few minutes. It's about the Quorum tiers, if any community members want to help out there.
Yeah, thank you, Roxy, for that, and thank you anybody who filled out the form. It's really great help. And I have to apologize. It is like a 0.1 form. I tested several strategies. It's a little bit a mess, but it is enough for me to see that the feedback is very useful. I will give you a screenshot of of some results and of the complete results, which are still anonymous. That means without the text answers. Maybe I will like mash them together so that it's not like discernible who that is. But in the second round, I would like to even more specify and to go into the topic of quorum tiers, because there's an appetite for it as I see it, and I see also the necessity to really, really put it on firm grounds. You know, that means how much is quorum really, and how do we want to define it? Do we want percentages? Because there is well, I think legitimate question wouldn't it be better to have it like expressed in some fixed number, like now the 7.2 million, but the argumentation for that is not up, that it has to be updated after now a year, after a prop that was temporary, shortly before we went to base. That's the point. We have to be clear about that, and I will put out another survey. Thanks.
Okay, awesome. So stay tuned in that forum. I'll post the link one more time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nestor. And one more with Nestor here, the AavegotchiDAO institutional framework for DAO offices. Nestor's building a framework /guide/model for creating, funding, and governing permanent DAO functions. And you posted a visual map yesterday.
Yes, and I would like to have that understood as an offer for anybody who says, yeah, I need somebody to think about it. I want to put it onto a broader picture, into a greater frame. And also just as an impulse, if you like you do now, the facilitators, if you plan a budget, what to think about. It's just that I read the AGP from the colleagues from 2 years back, and I found it was very, very thoroughly worked out. And so why not reuse it? There was already so much work done by different DAO members that we have such a rich library and of things we thought about and also conceptualized, so much work, and we can now really start to extract it. And that's what I also wanted to show that's possible, and just to serve as an inspiration. And that I'm always willing to think about, to take your model as the model for every office. If you now develop something that is really, really solid, then why not take it as a model for other organizational structures too? You get?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. All right. And we have just a few more updates from the DAO forum. We have Friend, a daily brand voice for Aavegotchi, where Nadil posted his vision for an AI called Friend to handle daily communication surveys and onboarding for Aavegotchi. And he continued to answer questions about it this week in this thread here, if anyone wanted to catch up on that. I know there might be some mixed opinions. But yeah, if Nadil, you want to say something in the chat for us, and we can check that out. It's definitely an interesting idea. Okay, he's typing, and then we have the Gotchi hackathon topic after that. And we were talking about the Arrow funds, the new Arrow funds earlier, and we could use that or some of that for the hackathon. which is also a really cool idea. Okay, Nadil says it's an idea to keep Aavegotchi communication vibrant and moving. Yeah, that's a really good, succinct explanation. Thank you. So here's the hackathon thread by user default, and we did have user default on here last week. So on YouTube, we have the recording of that if you wanted to hear that discussion. And if we have more opinions about the new funds. Oh, and Gotchi Default wants to come to the stage. Welcome. I mean, user default. Welcome, user default.
Morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, morning. We can hear you.
All right. So, for the hackathon, let me see if I can drop the link. Second. Okay, here we go. Where's the chat? There it is. So, oops, there you go. I think it went through. So I dropped the link in the chat. I'm adding a hackathon section to the Arcade Go section, so it would be a place where we can go and. How do I share my screen? I forgot how to use this stupid thing. Where's this? Turn on camera? No. Share my screen. There it is. Oh, I hope my computer doesn't crash to see share the screen. Is it working? Oh no, did I lose you guys?
Yeah. Okay, it's back.
Oh, so you can hear me? No.
Yes.
Okay. So hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, I'm adding this new hackathon section to the DAO section, where we can have the like a dashboard to see all of the submissions we have. There's gonna be an idea section. It's all right now just still being tested. I just added like at 12 o'clock last night, so it's really just the early little alpha I'm showing. But yes, I do plan on cleaning this up. I'm gonna have it working with Lens to operate the likes and the replies. There's going to be a submission portal where you go ahead and you can submit your project that you're working on. I'm going to add another tab here for the actual hackathon, like when it's live. There's going to be a resource section where everything we build, we can have it all ready for people here. The leaderboard will be whichever game that's being proposed out. We'll have a little leaderboard right there. And then of course in the dashboards, once the games start popping out, people will be able to go ahead and select them like on ideas. Like you can select the Gotchi cart, you can like it, dislike it, add a reply, all the kind of the same thing as we do on the forums, but I'm just gonna put it right here. So when we do a hackathon, everything will be kind of centralized on the site for us to pop in. And then I'm going to integrate this platform called Juicebox. I don't know if I have the links still here, but it's basically a decentralized platform that's used to manage the payments and the fundings of the game. So instead of paying out one big lump sum to like a wallet, it can be broken down into small chunks and payments. So it could be like in phases. So if there's a project that says, okay, first thing we're gonna do is we have to have the assets ready. So then we'll have like a payment saying, okay, here's the 3 payments for like the assets. The first payment, first you submit a certain amount, and then you unlock that payment, that money. You submit the second amount, unlock it, and so on and so forth. So that way, there's no just dumping cash to one person, and if that person takes off, well, then we're all kind of screwed. So I want to use that so that way the DAO itself can take control of how to handle it, basically. I hope I didn't lose anybody.
That looks really cool.
Did it die? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Before my computer dies. Stop. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on this week. So hopefully by the end of Wednesday, I'll have it up and running for everyone to kind of test out and try. But yeah, so the whole premise of that, so that way, if someone does have a game idea, or it's just encouraging anyone that if there is a game out there that you would like to see, but in the Aavegotchi theme, or if you have a brand new game idea that you want in Aavegotchi, then you just throw it up in the idea section. We'll all take a look at it. When we do host the hackathon and we get it all hashed out, then everyone can go in and start voting on which, like, really just that organized to find out like where we should stick all of our energy. So maybe like the DAO gets together first, throws a whole bunch of games on the ideas. We kind of hash them out, vote it out, and then whichever one comes out first, and that's going to be like the game that the hackathon should focus on. And then we'll like break it up into like little sections where like, okay, for this one game, there's going to be like an art section, and there's going to be a little whatever rewards you guys want to pay out for someone to make the assets, another one for like the actual game development, one for maintaining, so on and so forth. Just broken up so that way it's a little more organized in terms of payment.
Yeah, awesome. Definitely an easy way for people with ideas and games to join. That's awesome. So, yeah, is there going to be a hackathon proposal, do you think? Soon?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm not the best writer of any of these kind of subjects. I just build. So if someone can help me like put the idea together for me and then give it to you guys, then that'd be great.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
I'm not a talker. I'm not a talker.
Well, you're here talking, and that's a step above a lot of people.
But
Chris,
yeah, I
can you hear
mean,
me?
if anyone has any ideas, just I think I made a Discord thread called Hackathon. So if you have any ideas, just throw it in there. If you want, just shoot me a DM, and I can go ahead and probably try to work it into the plan.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Just linked the thread. Go help out user default. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's what we have for the hackathon. Thank you so much, user default. Now we have the treasurer office role, and Maxi Crouton posted 3 new threads this week. I think all 3 of them are new. At least 1 or 2 of them are new. The first one, the treasurer office role. This is where Maxi Crouton seeks official DAO clarification about his role as treasurer, specifically responsibilities and compensation. He has been fulfilling this role for years, but is planning a SIGPROP to define it more securely. There's that, the first thread. And everybody seemed in that thread very supportive so far. And yeah, I mean, he's been doing it for a while, so I'm sure that it'll be a pretty straightforward proposal. Oh, Nestor wants to help user default formulate a proposal. That's really cool. The next one that Maxi Crouton posted was the treasury management proposal, the arrow conversion strategy. And I think that's, yeah, there it is, the treasury management proposal channel in the chat. This proposal suggests converting the current arrow balance held in the DAO treasury into Ghost, while Ghost is trading at relatively low levels. It also proposes to formalize a flexible framework where future reward token conversions are managed at the discretion of the director or treasurer, depending, which is pending the role clarification for the previous thread mentioned. this topic attracted some disagreement about how the DAO should be swapping the arrow tokens. So if anyone has opinions about that, go check out that thread. Yeah, so some people say it's a good idea to swap it to Ghost, and other people disagree.
Ideal for a survey question.
Yeah, so the last one that was posted by Maxi Crouton is the Treasury Management proposal about stable coins in ETH or Aave and Morpho whitelisting. So this proposal, here's the link for that one. It suggests converting the DAO's current DAI holdings into USDC and whitelisting Aave and Morpho as approved protocols for deploying both stablecoins and ETH held in the treasury. It also introduces operational flexibility, allowing directors to manage deposits and withdrawals without requiring governance approval for each action. And yeah, all of that is stated in that thread. That was just the summary. Coderdan stated in response, I agree that DeFi risk is heightened now due to advances in AI penetration, but I stand by my recommendation earlier in the year to put the DAO's treasury in SGO. Yield is higher and Go is still quite over collateralized. And then he provided some links to a dashboard to back up his claim. And they are Aave token logic links in that thread. Let me see, I can paste those too. So definitely different opinions on this. Okay, link 1 and link 2. Okay, Nestor is doing a poll right now. Swap arrow and quick for Ghost. What is the opinion right now during this call? Yay or nay? Put the check mark or the X. Okay, we have 1 vote for the X or nay. Okay, another vote for yay. We've got 3 votes yay, 1 vote nay, 4 votes yay. No Future says we should not be buying Ghost. We need to learn our lesson. No Future, do you want to elaborate? I know that there was also some disagreement in that thread about how buying Ghost doesn't really do that much. We are just providing exit liquidity, he says. Foreign says, can we buy wrapped Bitcoin? That's a good question. That also was an idea in the thread that was mentioned. Okay, we have a tie right here in this call. We have very split opinions on this matter. When has buying Ghost ever worked for us? That's a good question. Then we'll have more Ghost in the treasury. Let's see. Arrow is up 45% in 1 month. Yeah, Arrow's looking pretty good. Yeah, there was an argument that Arrow is doing really well, and some people would rather keep that than sell for Ghost. Goobs says, on the other hand, there's next to 0 utility at the moment, and it's being used as a reward token currently. Ghost is. Looks like it could be bottomed out, especially if we do get something going. Okay. No future seconds buying Bitcoin. Maybe hype. Split matter is good. Food for thought. Nestor says, buy under conditions, yay, but not without commitment to have a staking program. Yeah, I do agree that we need a staking program. That's a good thing to mention. SpaceX says, crazy crypto. Let's see. What new utility do we have on the horizon? Let's be realistic, says no future. ZTEV says maybe buy 50% Bitcoin or hype. Yeah, we have some suggestions for some good diversifying here. Make it stable, Zbot says make it stable coin, and then when Bitcoin touches 200 MA, then buy Ghost, Wrapped Bitcoin, ETH, or Arrow. Right now get stables. User default says ETH and be a validator. Okay. Yes, we're discussing the Arrow right now, Flame. The Arrow that we just got to the treasury. And quick, yes. Okay, Brills says Ghost is used as the shop currency for Battler. Still lots of tournaments coming up, including some with ETH prize pools. Yeah, the Ghost is the top currency for a lot of things. We have plenty of Ghost right now, and we can always get more Ghost if we need to in the future. It's whether diversifying is the right choice or not at the moment. Okay. How much Arrow and Quick do we have at the moment so we're brought up to speed? Let's see. That's a good question. Says the amount in the announcement post that Coder Dan made. Okay, Nestor says it would be about 2 million Ghost. Let me check the... Okay, it's... The recovered amount is 275,000 DAI. And then he provided the transaction hash for the transfer, which I can paste into the chat right now for you to look at it. And that was posted on the 6th. So about 3 days ago. Nestor says 232,000 Arrow and 290,000 Quick. Oh, okay, so yeah, I was looking at DAI. The DAI amount announcement. Okay. We can still have potential without another buyback, no future says. Brills says, yeah, I'm not advocating to buy more right now, just mentioning that Battler gives Ghost some utility. That's true. We have, yeah. No future says we have plenty of Ghost. Okay. No Future says, let's first recover from the ill-advised $2 million stablecoin purchase of Ghost, which is down by nearly 90%. Foreign says we should swap the Quick into something that can earn. Okay, we have a lot of different opinions here, and the chat is very active right now. If you have really strong opinions, you should definitely go post that in the thread. Let's see. The arrow, the one about the arrow conversion strategy is this one right here. Maybe there could be a proposal with like multiple different options based on what people are saying here. The vote to swap to Ghost, vote to swap to Bitcoin, to stable coins. Let's see. Zbot says unpopular opinion. Without voting, or it will take forever, or will be front run. This DAO needs a committee that can act strategically without getting public. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, most of the community should be caught up with how we swap, but yeah, there should be definitely conversation about it. Having a committee is an interesting idea, yeah. No Future says to set limit orders as part of the prop. Yeah, so that could help us take advantage of the ups and downs a bit. Okay, Flame says that he agrees with not buying back Ghost. Yeah, this is some good conversation here, guys. Flame has a quote from someone. This DAO needs a committee. Yeah. Oh, he's replying to that. Easier said than done. Albeit most of the whales are gone, so it should be easier. We don't know that. I'm sure some whales are gone, but they could be watching from the shadows. Goob says, with the zero sentiment we have lately, we're holding up pretty decent, around 4 million MC. You're right, though, we already have Ghost that we can sell if needed on a pump. That is true. That is true. Yeah. So there are two separate threads, one for the arrow and Quick, and then the other one for the DAI holdings. And everyone should check out both of those. Okay, No Future suggests why not work out a deal with Pixelcraft to buy Ghost from them over the counter. Nestor says that the Guardians of the Treasury are the committee, but we would need to vote for them to make decisions on the DAO's behalf. Yeah. Zbot says the market's gonna soon heal. Then with new vibes, we go up only. Yeah, very positive mindset. That's good. Yep, those vibes will, yeah. All the vibes. No Future says if the multi-sig signers have that sort of discretion, the veil of limited liability from the foundation wouldn't be real. Limited liability. Yeah, liability is a hot discussed issue. Yeah. We spent a lot of time trying to fix that. Okay, Crazy Crypto has a lot of questions. What should the market maker focus on? What to do with the 275,000 recovered DAI? What to do with Arrow and Quick? What to do with the Arrow liquidity pool positions? How to recover Ghost or insider pump ideas here to bring it up from the 4 million cap? What to do with the Ethereum, which came back after the treasury distribution? And how to structure all of this now. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to solve, but they each have their separate threads, and that's why we talk about them and make proposals on them. There hasn't been any proposals posted this past week. We just had one close at the end of the last week's meeting. I think a lot of the proposals are waiting maybe for the quorum to change. But I do see more proposals coming on soon. Nestor says liability is in first line with outward-facing directorate. Any proposal in this direction would need careful evaluation. Yeah, we gotta protect people who don't really want to KYC. A separate committee with a goal to cover the DAO's operating expenses would be an idea, Foreign says. So, yeah, I think that's all I have for the active forum discussions. And this has been a really good call. And the opinions keep coming in, and I'm happy to see that. So go to the threads to continue this conversation. And I believe we can wrap up now. Flame posted a book. But yeah, if no one has any final thoughts here for the stage, I think we could end here. This was a really good, productive conversation, guys. We definitely got some clarification, especially on the DAO facilitator roles topic. The hackathon. We started the conversations of what to do with a lot of our tokens in the treasury. And some updates from Nestor. Some pretty good stuff. And thank you, everyone.
Thanks for hosting Rockdown.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm also excited about the Gotchi Grail game, too. It's a really good, cool, and easy way to learn about the bazaar trading. But yeah. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Peace.
Yes, have a nice weekend. Peace, guys.